What provides suspension for me as a provider, it is to create a space for people that can make them believe that things that they don't think it's possible are possible. And this is something I love.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Face Tattoo Talks, a series in which I interview interesting people that have face tattoos. If you're new to this channel or don't know who I am, my name is Joachim Stijls and I've been photographing people with face tattoos for the past 5 years. You can check out my work on my Instagram, which I will link down below in the description. This year, I've challenged myself to do one video interview each month for the rest of the year. And even though I'm a week behind schedule, I'm still very excited to show you this new episode. In the previous episode, I interviewed Flesh Anomaly about the evolution of her tattoo bodysuit, some of her body modifications, as well as hook suspensions. If you haven't seen that video yet, be sure to go check it out after you finished watching this one. For this episode, I decided to interview somebody who many of you requested, Eugenia Delphine. Eugenia is a highly skilled Spanish body modification, tattoo and piercing artist. I've had the pleasure of meeting and photographing Eugenia on several occasions. The first time I met her was particularly memorable as I let her convince me to play pierce my throat. For next month's episode, or actually this month's episode part 2, as I've missed my deadline, I will be interviewing Ivy van Hoek. Ivy is a lovely German tattoo artist who paid me a visit a couple of weeks ago together with her husband David, who I featured in my first book. So that's it for the intro. If you enjoy these types of videos, please feel free to take a second to like them, to leave a comment, or to share it with friends of yours that might also be interested in body modifications as well as tattoos. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to stay up to date on upcoming videos. I hope you enjoy my interview with Eugenia and see you in the next video. Bye bye. First question, please introduce yourself.
I am Eugenia Delphine. I'm a scarification artist mainly, but I do other kind of practice in body mod. I do piercing, and since 2.5 years around, I start tattooing, which I love very much and I enjoy very much.
How did you come to the point of being a scarification body mod artist? Like, who taught you? Did you teach yourself? What happened? How did the journey occur?
To be honest, I got this question yesterday from a client, and I needed to wonder myself a little bit because I can't not really recall how I became in this position. It was just like, I never thought like, I want someone to teach me, I want to become a scarification artist. I was just like really passionate about the whole practice, and I just like try it and I love it and I wanted just to do it. So I never thought about I want to become this. I just like, I love to do this. I want to do more. I want to do more. And suddenly I'm in this position where my main thing is scars. I didn't got any master or like mentor. I was always the whole visual of how it was established, body mod and everything. When I started, I felt really alien. But because I felt really alien all my life, it was kind of easy to just like see through my own path. I felt that it was difficult to ask any kind of apprenticeship to one person. I was not sure I want to commit to be an apprentice in the way that apprenticeship was at the time, which was like almost slavery and being submissive to a person, trusting that this person is gonna teach you the right things in a good way. So I was more like selecting workshops with different artists. I was not too focused on if the scars that they do were talking to me. I was more like soaking information. So I got different workshops, different artists. I went a lot to BMX, which is like a conference we mix body modification and other practice. Little by little practicing and doing little things and like growing first to friends and people, like, I don't know, like for free, for minimum prices. And then just like it became more natural. And it was specifically one person, which is from Australia, which is retired of scarification, and that is way done. And he was, before retiring scarification, make a world tour doing workshops. Okay. So that was the first time I got someone that was actually really good at doing peelings and scars, seeing me, because I did workshops, but we never cut each other, or it was nothing practical. And this time I was doing already scars, I did small peelings, But in this workshop, he was like in front of me, he was like supervising, and in this moment I felt that it was the moment when I felt that I could be just like confident with what I was doing. And this was like 2015, and it just grew. But I never thought about like who I want to be. I just thought what I want to do. And here I am sitting with you.
Okay, perfect. Maybe what are some of the people that you look up to in like the body mod scene or tattoo or piercing world in general? Do you have some people that you really admire, or and if so,
Yes,
who?
yes. One of the first persons that talked to me in the scarification, it was the only woman I know that was doing it. That was Christiane from Pinpoint in Norway. Now she stopped scarifications a while ago. But that was the first person that I felt like, oh, this is a woman doing scars. So I felt a little bit like the vibe of like things possible or like related to someone. Mm-hmm. Then I really loved a scarification artist from Arizona, who is the person who is gonna do my scars in the near future, I hope, which is Kevin Jump, and he's in Phoenix, yes. Okay. Then there is, there is different artists that I like, but these can be the persons that are more like a referent.
So you do tattoos as well under your alternative name La Diabla?
La Diabla, sí.
Yes. Do you prefer doing tattoos compared to scars? Is it on the same level? Do you just think they're two different means of practicing art, or?
It's two different means of practicing art. I think like the way that when you do engraving, you are carving, you have limitation, certain things are reduced. With the scars also, you have restrictions on the designs, mm-hmm. how they flow mm-hmm. in the body, because the skin have tension lines and things like that. And tattoo is a little bit more free. You can go over everywhere almost, and obviously gonna heal different. But the scars is like a whole different way if I cut you in the face than in the neck. But if you tattoo neck and face, it can, be more part of one. For example, scars in the neck are a little bit complicated, heals weirdly most of the times. So actually, I love to have these two medias because I feel more complete mm-hmm. to express myself. I always needed to express myself. I love to do piercings because I love jewelry, and I love to create this whole decorative way of expressing a person with their jewelry. The thing with the piercing, it's at some point I'm limited because I love to draw. I come from the graffiti, and then it's more like I need other media. Mm-hmm. I love different medias. So the scars give me much more freedom, and like tattoos, I can just do anything, and things that maybe are a little bit weird to make it in scars, you can create it with tattoo,
Like a different tool in the toolbox too.
Exactly. And what I feel that is the thing that I love the most is that give me another level where I can work in layers, which I love. I can do tattoos, and then I can do scars, and then I can tattoo over the scar, and I can create infinite layers like this. And this, it talks to me. Yes.
Tell me a little bit about, I once witnessed like one of the suspension sessions as well, so that's something you do as well?
I do suspension too, yes.
I'm quite sure that you have helped people in several ways by facilitating that, helping them find themselves, helping them push their limit. Does that give you like a specific form of satisfaction that's other than just decorating their body with piercings, tattoos, and scars? Or?
Absolutely. I think this is also very much expression of my personality. I love the artistic part. I love all of this, but it's important to me like the experience. What provides suspension for me as a provider, it is to create a space for people that can make them believe that things that they don't think it's possible are possible. And this is something I love. You can empower yourself. You can open portals in a way when you suspend, because you are like somehow traveling to a part of your subconscious through pain and challenging your fear. I think this is also a key when you do body modifications or tattoos or things like that. You are not only drawing in a paper, you have this experience with the person. And the person at the same time is having an exploration of their own body or their own experience, not only expressing themselves and being more than self, but also the whole process of like having pain, having the healing and everything, it's also a part of it. What I loved about suspension is that it's something very private. If you don't have tattoos, you don't have scars, piercings of anything, you can still have this body experience for yourself. You can still explore in this dark space that every humans have, that is pain and fear, and we block it and we think it's bad, but we need to be aware of it. Embrace it and be like, it gives us a lot of powers. It also gives us a lot of vision of like, you are not so afraid to certain things because you also realize that things are cycle. You start, it heals, it's finished, it's settled, and then you want to commit to another transformation, then you start, and then you realize more the circle. So when you more do it, and you are in the part of the pain and the suffering, you know how the circle continues, and that gives you like a little bit more like freedom to take choices in your life, to don't be so insecure, to relate this process that you do physically with other process that can be like, I don't know, changing a job or something like this, and being like, hey, this is also a cycle. This is going to be painful, it's going to be annoying, but then it's going to be settling, and the healing is going to be also probably annoying, but then you get something that you really love and you want, and you feel better in your skin.
Sorry.
No
Let's
problem.
talk face tattoos. When did you get your first one? Who did your face tattoos, and did it change like how people approached you, or did you change any? Let me rephrase that. So, did you know? I'll have to cut this out. That's why I'm doing this. I'm sitting there and not here. So let's talk face tattoos. When did you get your first one? Who did them? And did you notice like any changes in your environment as to how people reacted with you once you started getting face tattoos?
So, my first tattoo was my forehead tattoo. My forehead tattoo was doing by Janae, which is like more now kind of like she been studying shamanic ways of like drums and nature healings and things like that. So for me, I was really connect at the moment with her. I was living in Berlin. I was like working in her shop, piercing and stuff, and I saw her way of working, and her way of working was always like really caring, really loving, and this was something that I didn't, since I always have baby face, so I didn't feel like that baby face. So I needed something that speaks to me, because I'm also not like, I like more like the Julie, like something that flows with your face and not like so hardcore in a way that like cut in the face flow. Exactly, like more like a jewelry decoration. The way that she worked with the people, the way that she tattoos, the care that she put on it, I was like, that speaks to me. I was also really like, when I get something done, it's really important, the person, so for me it was super important. It was her. I was with different friends of mine who worked in the shop, so it was a beautiful ritual. And the fact that I get it done, and I was living in Berlin, I think it was a big difference. That if I was living in Spain and I get my forehead tattoo, because I was already seeing people in the street with face tattoos and things, so probably that gave me also more the courage to be like, I can be myself, I don't need to deal with a lot of external things, because I felt I can't blend in this. So I was, I think 25, 24 when I got my forehead. It was chill. In the beginning it was swollen, but it's also very gentle. I got more times from very random people like, oh, actually I like your face tattoo. Like, oh, it's not what I would expect of a face tattoo. Than people being like, this is...
Native,
yes. Or obviously my mom, the first time she saw it, she was like, why you do this? But she didn't know it was just a preparation for what was
Or-
coming.
Or the bigger picture. Okay, perfect. Thank you. And who did the other ones?
These are from Dasha. She's a Russian girl who lives in the UK now. It was the cheeks with the chin and the neck down. Then I have this one from a friend from Peru. It's called Viciosa Fortuna.
You'll
Yes.
you'll have to spell that out for me for
Yes.
the subtitles.
Yes, for the subtitles.
What does it mean? It's
Viciosa Fortuna is like vicious fortune.
okay.
I think it's like that.
Bitches like B.
No, vicious.
I thought
No, bitches.
bitches.
Bitches is
Bitches
a
fortune.
fortune.
You have layers and layers of tattoos. What's the specific appeal of like leftovers and adding layers on top of other layers?
I think, like I said, I'm coming from the graffiti background. So I always loved about graffiti the look that layers and layers, or like old walls, fall the paint, and there is under, but there
Stickers and posters
exactly,
and-
exactly, and also it's like my two sides. I like clean, sharp, well done things, but I also love the beauty of like their own randomness or adding things, and it's something that you cannot pre-plan. I love also this freedom, like, oh, everything is possible. I'm not so focused on like, oh, this is forever and this is like this, and I'm gonna look, yeah, but I can add this and this can transform. And for example, my back piece, I add an overlayer, and actually with the overlayer, I feel that I like it more. And probably one artist will be not able to finish, but like everyone's collaboration. Now I think I want to start filling some gaps with different people I like making a skull. So their own way of the skull, and just like filling up gaps. So I have also memories. I'm able to collect tattoos because in my leg is double layer, but I have a lot of tattoos under that was like part of my journey and fun or learning process or something. So having a lot of layers that I can still see and remember, but actually what it's over it, it's like a
New
whole,
aesthetic,
exactly, a new aesthetic, a new body flow. I like that a lot.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Joaquin.